Yo. Welcome back to Open Minds. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this show for a minute on this topic, Jumanji, but I ain't got around to doing it. But we going to do it today. We going to knock it out. It's going to be a real good show, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content so we can keep Open Minds going. Open Minds, we opening people's minds. And this topic right here, Jumanji. What made me think to even do it is I was just watching TV and it came on, the movie came on, and I was like seeing all the, subliminal messages that they put in the movie that I don't think nobody really caught, or you know what I'm saying? Well, I know everybody really caught on, everybody know the story of Jumanji, but the game itself, we're gonna talk about the game itself today. The game, like what's to this game? Like what it's made out of. You know what I'm saying? Who made it? That's what we're gonna talk about it today. I believe they said in the story of Jumanji, they said the plot was 100 years ago, a game was buried and found by Alan Parrish. You know what I'm saying? But who? They show a little quick scene in the beginning of like who you know what I'm saying, like some old people on carriages and they drop the game and somehow get buried, or you know what I'm saying? This game had to be made. What was it made out of and what made it so special? The first material of the game, like the whole game, is made out of wood. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to pay attention to the wood. Wood is made out of trees. Okay, it's a magical game that has a portal that's made out of wood. So whoever made this game knew how to do tree magic. Because they say some trees have portals. They say you go way in the forest, you know what I'm saying? In the deep forest, you can find a tree. If you ever go past a tree and it got like a foggy haze, the tree just look weird from the rest of the whole area. That tree might be a portal. They say they be like in the deepest of jungles, you know what I'm saying? But trees communicate. Trees are alive. Plants are alive. Everything is alive. It's just different on a different frequency. So people don't really understand how the trees communicate because it's a whole different species. But if you're in tune with nature, you can know things, you can know how to communicate with things and interact with things. They say Buddha sat next to a tree and got enlightened. You can do tree meditations. You can, some trees like people, some trees don't. But trees have a lot of knowledge. And there's ways you can tap into that. Trees are gateways. There's ways you can tap into that. Whoever made this game knew how to tap into that, which was ancient indigenous people that know how to work magic and know how to work the elements. So I'm gonna tell y'all my theory on the game. I think the game was made out of a magical tree. I think the game was made out of the tree, and the pieces itself is made out of like the is made out of like wood, and the dice could be very well be like some type of. They could be like elephant tusks. You know, real dice is made out of like elephant tusks and like bones, really. You know what I'm saying? You can make dice out of bone, but then the game has spells on it. You know what I'm saying? Every time you roll the dice move by itself, and a spell come on the in the middle of the game. It got a it had a crystal ball. You know what I'm saying? So the game right here, it's a game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's clearly stating that this game is a portal. You know what I'm saying? But how did they make it? Like they made it out of. My theory is I think they made it out of a magical tree. You know what I'm saying? Some people knew the land way back in the day. You had witchcraft, you had voodoo, and they scared us away from all our practices from nature. You know what I'm saying? To where you can communicate with the trees and you can do certain things like this, make certain things, and create portals. Now, the characters, I don't really want to get too much into the characters, but I just want to point out one thing that the man, he was a manhunter. He was a manhunter, and back, you know, like the time that Alan, when he went into the portal, it was like a prehistoric time. It had prehistoric animals, rhinos. You know, the plants were alive. You know, I don't think. My theory is, I think it was like an ancient, like he got took back in time, like, and not no hundreds of years. Like I think he got took back thousands of years to Earth. I think he was on Earth, but it was thousands of years, perhaps millions in the past. You know, where a civilization thrived. You know what I'm saying? Because the man, he had binoculars, he had things, and he was hunting men though. And like back in the ancients, that's how most of the people, the small people, the little people, got killed. You know, people that we used to call elves, people that we used to call Smurfs, even the gnomes. You know what I'm saying? These people were based on real people. You know what I'm saying? And people hunted them because they were smaller people and they didn't really look at them as people. You know, we go through this every day. You know what I'm saying? And that's how most of these people from past civilizations, perhaps millions of years ago, got killed off from people hunting them and animals. And then I just want to point out the plants, how the plants was smart and intelligent. You know, plants are smart and intelligent. They are alive and they communicate through the mitochondrial network. That's a network of roots. That's how a tree can talk to another tree in a different state through the roots. They connect it. You know what I'm saying? And they can send information. They can perhaps, I think, how trees, you can sit there and think the tree is not doing nothing, like, oh man, I don't want to be no tree. It just sit there all day. But perhaps the tree not even sitting there all day. Perhaps the tree can trade places with other trees and move all around the world through the network. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how these trees is communicating and how nature, you know what I'm saying, thrives. It's very well that they can Just like mirror magic, you know what I'm saying? With mirror magic, you can hop in the mirror, and if you got a mirror at your house, I can look at you through the mirror. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the same way for trees, perhaps certain plants, to where they don't have to be right there all the time. They switch places. It's known fact that trees save each other. You can be in the forest cutting down a large tree. You can look this up, and it take them like 2 or 3 days to cut down this large tree. By the time that they get done cutting the bottom of the large tree, the other tree right beside it have been to grab the tree, connected onto it, and made it a part of itself, so it can survive. Look it up. Look it up. Trees are very intelligent. These plants are very intelligent, and they talk and communicate just in a different way, a way that we don't understand. So if you tapped in with nature and you in tune with nature, you can tap in and you can understand and perhaps communicate and get knowledge or get anything from a tree. A tree have been here for thousands of years. Trees have thousands of years lifespans, hundreds of years, thousands of years, one of the two. They can take you through that lifespan if you know how to communicate with the tree right. So that's another reason why I think the game was made out of a magical tree. Because the game, it was able to take Alan into a portal into a prehistoric time where they had multitudes of elephants, rhinoceros, monkeys, and smart plants. Whoever made this game knew what they was doing. It took alchemy to make this game. You know what I'm saying? It took nature. They used materials in nature, all the materials. And the creator of this movie was very, very smart and knew something to even come up with this movie. Because you can do this very well today. So I got this video we're going to look at about TreeMagic. And I want y'all to pay attention to it, man. It's my brother Yosef. You know, I fuck with him the long way. Look him up. Because he got very, very good content, y'all. Alright, we gonna press play and let it play. We ain't gonna play the whole video, but we just gonna let you hear a few parts. You know, just a little receipts. We backing up, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things you can do in nature. We just not tapped into it.
Which is important to know if you're gonna be a magician. Because there's some things that can help you dealing with tree magic that is very important for you guys to know and understand. All right. So the first thing to understand about tree magic is you guys need to really understand that trees have been used in the science of magic for millions of years. Right? We're even going to say millions of years. Right? As long as trees has been here, people have figured out the science of working with trees. It is very important that you guys figure out the same by working with trees, working with the bark, working with the wood. They carry a life force frequency like a tree. You can cut a tree down and take the bark or wood of a tree, and this thing is still alive. The wood of the tree is still alive. It carries a certain living frequency in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very powerful energy, right? And one of the most powerful examples we see of working with tree magic on a higher cosmic level would be the tree of life, right? And in the tree of life, you have the tree of life, which gives life, gives light also.
And I wish he would have mentioned Jumanji in this because it would have been a perfect example. Because I was just sitting back watching the movie. I'm like, Boy, oh boy, they know what they was doing. These Hollywood people, they know what they be doing when they be making these movies.
Also, then you have the tree of knowledge and good and evil. Some people even call it the tree of death. And we know that death doesn't really exist. Death is a transforming of something. Death transforms, right? So the tree of death is there to take life away or to transmute life, right? Because if you notice in the Bible, Adam and Eve didn't die like God said they were going to die, but their mind was changed. Their mind was different. They were more open to certain aspects of energy and dealing with the roots of trees, which the tree of knowledge and good and evil represents. The dark side of the tree, which is the root of the tree, which is the biggest part of the tree, which is the most powerful part of the tree. That part of the tree can transform. It's very powerful. Okay, it's very, very powerful. And if you deal with it the right,
A tree, my bad, but a tree can also like take you back so far to when you was a plant. You know what I'm saying? Like it can show you when you was a plant. I heard cases of people taking mushrooms. That's another plant. Mushrooms and trees are considered like the earth's brain. So when you digest them or do certain things with them, you can you know what I'm saying, go back in time. You know what I'm saying? They can take you places that and show you things like, you know what I'm saying? They describe things to where words can't even describe because they just showing you emotions. You know what I'm saying? You can be the tree, you can be a rock, you can be this, you can be that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nature is very much alive. And I believe that when you digest certain things, it can take you certain places. And perhaps they can take you certain places to when you was a plant or a tree. You know what I'm saying? And show you where you was and what you was doing and all the knowledge. It can unlock doors. Trees unlock doors. Plants unlock doors. You know what I'm saying? They say we only use 10% of our brain. You want to unlock them doors? Learn some tree magic.
right way, you can work with
Take some
primordial energy,
shrooms.
working with the tree of knowledge and good and evil. But that's not for beginners, right? So also, if you look in history, the Buddha himself was transformed or enlightened when he sat under a tree, right? When he sat under a tree. So that's a few examples to let you guys understand that the tree is so important that when they mapped out consciousness, which is what the tree of life is based on, a map of consciousness, they use a tree. They call it the tree of life, right? So some ancient cultures even say the universe is a tree, right? Some ancient cultures will say that. So trees are very powerful, right? Another thing about trees that people need to understand is that trees are door openers. They're they can open and door and close energy portals, right? They're road openers, right? They can unlock energy in the earth, also in the air, depending on how the trees are positioned. But trees can unlock powerful earth energy. They can unlock energy inside of yourself just by standing next to a tree. You can get unlocked. You can have blockages removed. You can have new energy centers opened up in your body just by dealing with the right tree, right? So trees are powerful in that aspect. Um, some trees like humans, and some trees don't like humans, right? The trees that don't like humans are the trees that are poisonous, right? They kind of cut themselves off to humanity to the point if you even touch them, you can get poisoned, like poison ivy or something like that, right? Some plants and trees are poisonous. Even some trees that you got to watch how you touch them because you get cut by certain trees that can be poisonous to you, right? Some trees around the world. So that's very important for people to understand. Trees are also they also hold energy. They can bottle energy for you. So there are some spirits that are actually trapped in trees right now. People don't understand the science, but you can actually trap spirits in trees. Demons are trapped in trees, right? A lot of energy spirits on the other side. For those who have eyes to see, they can see spirits and ghosts and stuff. You will see a lot of spirits standing next to trees because they have energy. They're getting energy from the tree. So you can see them standing next to a tree, right? Whenever I go to the graveyard, and I look around, and if there's a tree in a graveyard, I see people standing next to the tree. It's so interesting, very powerful, right? Very powerful. So trees can hold energy. Trees can also um, open energy, right? Very important to understand when you're dealing with your spell work and your rituals. We're going to get into that, right? So if you're working a spell, right? If you're working a spell, you can actually, if you put that spell under the right type of tree, depending on what type of spell you're trying to do. If you put that, any tree just won't work. You got to know what tree to do it under, right? If you put that spell under the right type of tree and you bury it next to a tree, the tree will actually work the spell for you.
The tree will work the spell. Did you hear what he said? The tree will work the spell for you. So you know what I'm saying? It can't be any type of tree, but say you got a family tree. Say you grew up in your tree outside. You know what I'm saying? Your house. That tree know you. Believe it or not, that tree know you. You know what I'm saying? You probably played under the tree. Probably even had a swing under the tree. You know what I'm saying? If you honor that tree and talk to that tree and do certain rituals, that tree know you. That tree been knowing you since you was a baby. That tree will help you out. Another thing about trees, I don't know, I don't think he gonna touch on. Um, Trees collect energy faster than us. So, like he said, trees have energy, and the ghost go stand next to the tree to get energy. The branches of the tree spread out towards the sun. So, who you think getting the information from the sun first? These trees are so much advanced more than us. They and their lifespan is more way longer than us. A tree like with the tree that I'm talking about, a tree that know you, a tree that was at your mama house, it look at your life like a blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? This tree probably been here 100 years before you, or hundreds, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's probably gonna be here 100 years after you. So it'll just watch your life in the blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? And the tree know you. So if you work with the tree or talk to this tree can help. All right, let's go back.
That's right. That's a quick way to cheat on your spell work. You know,
Quick
you
way.
can actually have a tree work your spell for you.
Quick way.
Stuff has many things buried around trees, and the tree is working it for me to this day, dealing with protection, money. You know what I'm saying? All kind of things, right? So you guys can actually there's people that make money trees too. I'm not even gonna tell you how to do that. It's
Protection,
so
money.
easy to do. You can go to YouTube and type in money tree. There's people teach you how to make trees and money trees, right? Where you can literally take bags of change, right, and bury it and pot it under a tree.
Like I say, open minds again, it's about open minds. They have made us forget all this knowledge and have hidden it in plain sight with fear. Voodoo, the study of nature. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a positive, everything has a negative, everything has a good, and everything has a bad side. There's a bad side with every religion. There's a good side to every religion. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know the bad side to religion, all you got to do is do your research within whatever religion you in, and you will find that yeah, it's a very dark and bad side to it. You know what I'm saying? Then you can go back to the good side. It's a good and it's a bad to everything. So they have hidden our ancient knowledge of nature, of the planet, of nature itself, and blocked it with fear. Something to think about. Open minds.
Tree and let the roots and stuff grow around the money. You know, like a little pot in your house and have a money tree in your house, right? I'm not gonna get deep into that, but you can do that. So spells can.
Is this magic talking about harming
powerful.
people? Is this magic talking about doing something harmful to somebody or hurting somebody? No, this is a good part of magic. This is Basically, probably a form of voodoo. You know what I'm saying? It's whenever you're dealing with nature. You know what I'm saying? Voodoo is the study of nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keep touching on that religion because they have blocked and suppressed us from that religion. But it's a good side to that religion. You don't have to be on the bad side. You know what I'm saying? And the good side is working with nature on the good side, of things. You don't have to be trying to harm nobody or doing this or doing that. You can do that with Christianity. You can do that with Catholic. You can do that with Buddhism. You can do that with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do it with voodoo. But you know what I'm saying? You can do good things also. So that just brings back my point that there's a good and a bad to everything.
They can work a spell out for you. That's very important for that you guys understand that. So in case you don't have a lot of time
Wake
to work
up.
on a ritual and you're really trying to do something, you don't have time to keep doing a spell over and over and over. Well, the trees themselves will actually work spells for you over and over and over. All right. So that's something that's very important that you guys need to understand. All right. Now, trees are also nature's antennas, right? They're like antennas for nature all over the world. So Mother
Mm-hmm.
Nature, it doesn't
I
matter
didn't know
what
if
part
you
of
was
the
gonna
world you're
touch
in, she
on it,
can
but
pick
it
up the
sounded like
energy in
you
that
is.
area by way of the tree. Trees, they watch, they observe, they absorb knowledge and information, right? Trees are very wise. That's why they say when you need to figure out something, go sit under a tree. If you need to think of a really deep idea, a really deep invention or something, go sit under a tree. That's why they have that whole Thomas Edison, sitting under a tree. So Thomas Edison, Isaac Newton in the tree, sitting under the tree. That's where that whole thing comes from. So sitting under a tree can create great ideas. Trees can give you information just by sitting next to them. I'm telling you, very very powerful, very very powerful nature spirits, man. So they're the antennas for the earth. They're like the internet for the earth. The trees can transmute energy. They can talk back and forth, send messages from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth by way of the tree. Very powerful, very powerful. Um, they can also pick up energy from the sun and the stars and transmute that energy down here from Mother Earth.
Yeah, so let me touch on that again a little bit for y'all. The mitochondrial network. This is how plants communicate. You got two different root systems. You know what I'm saying? Some of these trees, the roots is they got roots to feed, and they got roots that's connected on to the other trees that's next to it. And that tree got roots that's connected on to the tree that's next to it. That's next to it. That's next to it. And they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. And it makes everything connected. So that's how they send messages and they transmute information. You know what I'm saying? Watch Avatar. It's a lot of subliminal messages letting you know about nature with Avatar. Avatar show you how people can communicate and you know what I'm saying co live with nature. You know what I'm saying? We got to go back to living like that. We got to go back to thinking like that and working like that. You feel me?
So she can get messages. There are a lot of plants that actually attract the stars. That's why some plants actually look like pentagrams. If you ever noticed that, some plants look like stars, like marijuana. Marijuana is a plant that actually is connected to the star energy. That's why when you smoke it, you become light. Your body transmutes into a higher vibration. Some people abuse marijuana, and that's why it could be bad because you can abuse marijuana. Um, but marijuana, when it's used naturally, it can actually lift the heaviness off you, that earth energy. It can lift that heavy energy off you. And even though it's an earth element uh, um, herb, it can actually have star energy in it. When you smoke it, it can make you lighter. It can attract you to the fourth dimension if you know how to use it correctly. Same thing with hemp. Same thing with CBD. These are things that remove a lot of weight, and they can allow you to be lighter and allow you to attract yourself more to the spirit world. Very powerful. Then you have psychedelic, that attracts more to primordial and cosmic energy. And when you take it, it takes you into your soul, right? So you got these psychedelic plants that can actually take you into your soul. That's actually what's happening when you take psychedelics. You're looking at your soul. And that's one way to go to the spirit world. You can go out into the spirit world.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about with cases of mushrooms. Some mushrooms, you got all different type of plants that you can digest, smoke, do all type of things with. You know what I'm saying? And they do different type of things. I've heard cases of people taking mushrooms and they take them inside themselves. You feel me? Like they feel like they go inside themselves and talk to themselves, get to know themselves. Like I've heard people take certain mushrooms and they take them to uh, another realm. They feel like they leave their body. You know what I'm saying? And go somewhere else. I done heard of cases of people taking mushrooms and it takes them inside the planet. This case, a person took a poisonous mushroom. This mushroom was supposed to kill them, but they thought it was something else. They ain't do it on purpose. They thought it was an eatable mushroom, but it was a poisonous mushroom. It was the mushroom that the most popular mushroom, the mushroom that they got on the Smurfs, the red mushroom with the white dots, grow in nature. It's like in nature. You ever see the red mushroom with the white dots? You don't eat that mushroom. It's very poisonous. He consumed it, and it didn't kill him though. He had like a near death experience, but he went into the earth, and it took him through the mitochondrial network. What I just was talking about. It took him through it, and he described seeing the earth. Like it took him all the way through it, and he described finally like seeing like the whole planet, and the whole planet just like inhaling it and exhaling, and how the energy moves, and like how the planet breathes. Because the planet breathes in 365 days. You know what I'm saying? It's on the cosmic scale. Just how we take a breath in a second, it takes 365 days to take a breath. He saw all of that happen like at once. He said he left his body and went inside the earth. Like he just went inside the ground and then went inside trees, and then finally he just saw everything. So that's what he describes. Plants can do all type of things. You just got to know how to work with them.
Or you can go inside, which is the ancient shaman way. They would go ahead and they would go into the universe and do their
in this case of Jumanji,
right? So that's very important.
You made a game. You can make games. You can make
aspects
things.
that trees can relate to different energies in the universe. All right, that's very important to understand. Certain trees can relate to certain energies in the universe. So if you want a tree to work with you, one of the best ways to get it to work with you is to take a quartz crystal, right? You can take a quartz crystal, a small quartz crystal, it doesn't have to be big. And you can put your thoughts and your ideas into this crystal by way of putting it on your forehead and putting a thought form, a positive thought form into the crystal. And, putting the crystal and letting the crystal know what you want, and tell the crystal to tell the tree. When you bury it at least 12 inches into the ground next to the tree, near the roots, then what can happen is the tree will actually absorb the energy from the crystal. And the tree can actually work with you on a deeper level that way, right? So the tree will know what you want every time you come to it, because you put a computer chip to a degree into the tree, and the tree understands and knows what you want. Or that's one way to do it, right? So you can let the tree take a quartz crystal and say, look, I'm going to be coming to you to do rituals. If it's not okay, contact me in my dream and tell me. If the tree contacts you in your dream and say, don't come over here with that shit, then don't mess with the tree, right? If the tree doesn't come to you, then that's a sign that go ahead and work with the tree, right? Some trees don't like us. That's just the truth, Some trees do. Some trees don't mind us. Some trees are demonic. They're evil. That's a fact. I'm not going to say which trees those are, because those trees right there, it's easy to take the bark. I can take the bark off a certain tree and hex anybody I want just by taking the bark off a certain tree. Certain trees carry very low vibratory energy, and they can be very dangerous, right? They can be very dangerous. A lot of demons like to hang around certain trees, right? And I know somebody out there like, man, brother, you tell us what tree it is. No, because I know some people like to do things to people, and I'm not going to put that type of energy out there.
Exactly.
Right? But yeah, there are some trees that carry heavy demonic energy, right? You can curse.
So just like he said, you can, you know what I'm saying, do all type of things with these trees and plants in nature. You can take the bark of a tree and make a game, the wood of a tree and make a game. You know what I'm saying? And open up a doorway to where, you know what I'm saying, you can go inside a portal and then take you somewhere else. But that's enough. I'm gonna give y'all on Brother Yosef. Y'all can check out New Life Tools. That's his channel. Right here. Y'all can check him out. Um, boom. Okay. Different things, different dials that you can make out of trees. And I also want to show y'all the people. You know what I'm saying? These are people of the land. Ancient people, indigenous everywhere, you know, religion set up everywhere. You got the West African voodoo people. You got the American voodoo people, the New Orleans voodoo people. You know what I'm saying? And these people, they try to make you scared of these people. But these people just know how to work the land. You know, they had the voodoo doll. You know, they try to make it seem like you scary and all, but it's various forms of the voodoo doll that they make and they practice with. You know what I'm saying? It's the kind that can harm you. It's the kind that can bring you fortune and money. It's the kind that can make you, if you're having a hard time getting pregnant, you can make a certain doll and with a baby and you know what I'm saying, become fertile. And you making these dolls with what? Nature, wood, shells. You use certain metals in certain aspects, and you know what I'm saying. But it's we always go to here go the fertility doll right here. Here we go. Yeah, the fertility doll. You know what I'm saying? This is a doll for men, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You can make this doll if you having problems in the sex game. They got a kind for women. You know what I'm saying? But they scare you with fear. So you won't resort to nature to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? They tell you about the bad ways. You can resort to nature to do, you know, everything, and you can use it in many forms. I can use Christianity in many forms. You know what I'm saying? Evil ways. I can use it in good ways. I can use it in, you know what I'm saying, savage ways. You know what I'm saying? I can use the cross in good ways. And they got different rituals where you turn the cross upside down. I know y'all have seen the movies with the demonic, with they got the cross upside down. You know what I'm saying? So it's a up and a down, a positive and a negative to everything. And that's just my point. You can use these things for good and bad. They just scare you with the bad because they don't want us resolving in nature, because if we tap into nature, they know they ain't got no chance. Another story before I get out of here for the day. Like, share the video, the Jumanji Uncoded. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do more videos when I have time, but the last story I got when the I think it was the Spanish conquered the Haiti people. They used to put rocks over the women's mouth. They try to sneak up and put rocks over the women's mouth, or whoever got captured, they'll put rocks over the women's mouth. Why they would put rocks over the women's mouth? Because the women voice was so powerful that it'll make people jump off the ships and kill themselves. I'll show y'all rocks. See how they try to hide stuff from. Yeah, man, I can't even find it because they make it so hard to find. But yeah, they put rocks in their mouths so they wouldn't speak, because their words were so powerful that when they spoke them, they'll make the ship crash. They'll make them commit suicide. They'll make them get disease. You know, these people, they know how to speak with different tongues with the land, and they'd be so powerful that, you know what I'm saying, they were scared of it, really. Probably have to put that in a different video, but look it up though. Finna get out of here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Jumanji movie Decoded. We got some shows coming up. Yeah, we got some shows coming up, and I'm gonna keep y'all posted. Share this video. Open minds.